I'm gonna tell you why these anniversary figures are a big deal. Stay tuned. What's going on, everybody? My name is Alvin, and welcome to A&R, where we talk and review all things cool in the pop culture world. These packagings right here is the birth of Marvel Legends. Just over 2 decades ago, a company called Toybiz came up with the idea to do 6-inch Marvel characters. They wanted to do a series of them, and thus was born the Marvel Legends line. Not only did they create the iconic Marvel Legends name, they also created Build-A-Figure, aka BAF, which, a lot of people nowadays, say it readily without any issues. Now let's take a look at the packaging here. The idea of this anniversary is to capture the look of the original line from Toybiz. And I gotta say, first glance here, we're not gonna get a full clamshell. It's just the cost is too much. But the logo, the way they've printed the paper on here, and the actual, cardboard backing here with the color scheme, it really, gets close to the original look. And I think a lot of collectors that collected, like myself back in the day, would see, nostalgia, would see references of what the original packaging was about. Now, in the old packaging, we used to actually get a full comic book inside. Yes, I know, a full comic book inside the packaging. But I love the fact that they put a nod to it by just putting a paper insert that looks like a comic book. And we'll open these guys up and have a look inside. But I just wanted to do a little quick walk around of the packaging. I think it looks really, really nice and really hits that nostalgic feel of Toybiz. Hopefully I get another one because I want to keep one sealed. Alright, so out of the package here, we've got the comic book sort of inserts. It's nice. I love the nod to the actual comic books that we used to get from Toybiz. It looks pretty cool. You've got the old school comic book covers here, and I think that it did a good job. I remember actually seeing these. What they also did was give you a nice little backdrop for each of the figures, which is nice. We used to get actual base, so we actually had the Tony Stark base, but obviously with cost cutting, we're not going to get these bases, which is unfortunate because I would have paid a little bit extra, I think, to get actual bases instead of these cutouts, but at least they just gave us something here, reversible, instead of just a blank side. So, thoughtful gesture from them to try to capture all the stuff that you would have got from Toybiz. But ultimately, I think I would have preferred the actual base and paid a little bit more to get them. Aesthetic wise, well, here's Cap. And I gotta say, mwah, this guy is just, I want to cry now. It's just absolutely beautiful. The color is bright and vibrant. We'll do a comparison of the other Cap that we got from the 80th anniversary, but I just gotta say, I really love the look of this. Appearance wise, it looks great. I love the wings at the top there. It sticks out. It's not just painted on. There's details on his chest here. They're actually sculpted, not just painted with the texturing. It's just so good. I don't know, I can't believe how great this figure is. Articulation wise, we'll get into it in a second, but just appearance wise, isn't this the Cap that we've always wanted to have in our comic book collection? This is comic book rendition Cap right here. Can it get better? Of course, we can nitpick about small things and all that, but put that aside for a second and just look at how great this is. And what's great about this is it takes, from what we are, the history of Marvel Legends. It comes from that history, and they just elevated the look of it, but kept all that nostalgia feel. I remember going to the comic book store and picking this guy up for the first time and going, what is this Marvel Legends series? And how can I get more of them? So it just, yeah, it's really great. I don't want to spoil it for everybody here how I feel about it, but sometimes you just gotta, fly from the seat of your pants and talk about how great something is immediately. And yeah, aesthetically, I think they nailed it here. Articulation wise, well, we'll get it up on the screen, but I'll go through it a little quickly here. Head is on a ball joint. So hinge up and down right there. I kind of wish it wasn't, because I would have loved to see the neck area a little bit independent so it can have more range. But it's pretty good. It does do a lot of movement here that you need, and especially if you're looking down and then, you know, looking up, if he's flying to try to punch somebody in the air, leaping there. So it's good. And then for the upper torso area, you do have an ab crunch, so it's good right there. You don't have any swivel at the upper part of the torso. No butterfly joint, and I would have loved to see a butterfly joint here, because, you know, if he's swinging the shield around, I would have loved to see more range. So, you know, I just talked about how great it looks, but articulation wise, I'm seeing some things that I, you know, wish they made changes to. So I'm not going to take anything away of how he looks. If he's placed in your shelf, he's going to look fantastic. But if you're doing photography, or if you want to pose him in, you know, great poses, this is where you kind of wish he had a little bit some more articulation to him. So butterfly joint, you know, it's a shame it's not there, but you do have bicep swivel, and you have double jointed elbow. So that's, you know, it's become a standard nowadays with Marvel Legends, right? You pretty much get the double jointed elbows and knees for majority of the figures that are coming out now. Wrist, it's got a hinge and a swivel, so you can get that movement anytime you need for any direction. And then for the waist, you do have a waist swivel here. It was a little stuck here behind the belt, so it's underneath the belt, covered up the little gap, so that's nice. And then you have a thigh cut right there, that's good, and double knee here too, so that's great there. And then for the boot area, you have a boot cut, so that's great. You do get a nice boot cut. And then you have ankle up and down hinge, and then rocking left and right. So overall, I'd say above average for articulation. I just kind of wish the butterfly joints were in there so that he can get in a nice range of swinging the shield around. And the neck area, I wish we had a ball joint at the bottom of the neck there so we can get more rotation of the neck. But other than that, pretty decent articulation for this guy. And yeah, I'm satisfied with it. All right, here is Ironman. Well, bright, beautiful again, right? Same theme as Cap. This is a comic-based figure, and he looks the part. He looks great. I remember getting both this version and the variant, which I'll talk about in a second here, because I think they kind of missed the boat on that, how they should have released some figures. I love me some variants once in a while. But this guy, you know, he's the same Iron Man we've seen over and over again, with a little bit of change here and there that we've gotten in the last, 2 years, different versions. So pretty much the same body as the Iron Mans we got from Marvel Legends Wave, with some changes. The face, right off the bat, right here, it's got that old school look, which I love. I love the V here, the cutout with the plating around the head. And it's not just painted on, it's actually sculpted. There's actually tips to it here, which is great. It wasn't just, you know, flat against the head. So it actually sticks out, which is cool. One thing I don't like is the reactor area here is just a sticker. It's just a yellow sticker. There's no actual cutout and an indented in there like some of the other Iron Man. And we'll do a comparison of one that has that later on. But yeah, disappointed about that. But maybe, just maybe, the reason why they went this direction is because that's what the Toybiz one looked like. If they're going to give us Toybiz Anniversary Edition figures, they're trying to keep some of that look, but updated articulation with maybe some better paint apps. So I think they're trying to mix and match a little bit of the past and present, which I don't mind, so long as it's an improvement from some of the articulation we got from the Toybiz era, because those were not that great, because the technology wasn't that great back then. So yeah, I kind of understand why they're going a little bit half-half on this. Articulation wise, this guy, ball joint with the hinge, up and down, same as Cap. For the shoulder area, you can get the hand up this high, no butterfly joint. You do have a bicep swivel, and you know, we'll get all that articulation up on the screen. The upper torso, you have an ab crunch, you have double elbow, you have the wrist that kind of rotates. The hands He comes with the other hands that do have a hinge, and we'll show that later on when we do the accessories. But the wrist, at the top of the wrist here, where the about to meet the elbow, where the glove is at the top here, there is no articulation here at all. It just stuck there. So unfortunate. Would have liked to see a little bit of a swivel here. Would have been nice. For the waist area, you do have swivel, and then for the legs, you have thigh cut. You have double knees right here, and then boot swivel. That's nice here. But you have the hinge at the legs up and down, and then you can kind of swivel back and rock it back and forth if you want. But yeah, articulation is standard stuff. Nothing new here. I didn't really think there's going to be anything crazy new here with this look, because just in the package you can tell this is just a redone of the previous Ironmans we've been getting for the last couple of years. Accessory time. Well, this guy gets a ton of accessories, which is good because we paid a lot more, and that's great. I pay more, I should get more. Shield comes with a cool lightning effect. I really like this, and the shield is nice. It's got that gloss finish to it. It's cool. I really like that. In the back though, you've got little holes here, and that's for all these 3 bullet effects. And we'll take some pictures and we'll put it up on Instagram. Go check it out. But nice little bullet effects. I really like that. That's cool right there. And then we have this effect right here. Maybe he's ricocheting it off the ground, or you know, somebody's shooting at him and he deflects it. Hey, you know what? Use your imagination. Send some pictures to us. We'd love to see that too. Next up, we've got this cowl here. If you hit to slide it back off his head, and that's obviously go with the Steve Rogers regular head here. So you can actually put that on him, and the cowl is off him, so that's cool. I like when they do things like this. It just gives it that added effect. They did that with Wolverine. I like that. It was cool. Hands. Well, he's got 2 sets of hands. He's got the stop, you know, or the female hands that you see all the time. Every single Marvel Legends female figure seems to get one of these hands. Well, Roger's got one too now. And then he's got this karate chop hand, and then the finger pointing hand. Just pointing at people. Like, come on, Rogers. I thought you were a Boy Scout. Stop pointing at people. But got one of those. I did talk about this. I actually forgot that it does come with the base here, but it's cardboard. The old one had the base plus the cutout, not a cutout, but an actual backdrop that you can use in your scenes. And I wish I'd kept them, but I got rid of all of them, I think. But yeah, I mean, I understand budget cuts. We didn't get all these effects at the time when Toybiz was around, so I guess it makes up for it, right? What would you rather have? Effects and extra hands and the cowl that comes off, or a base? I think I would take the effects, so I don't mind they went this route when you see it all together like this and you look at where the money was spent. So I'm okay with this. I'm coming around and accepting the fact that we don't get an actual base. We get these cool things here. Alright, accessory time. Well, it's a little lacking on this Ironman set. What we got with Rogers was great. With Tony, a little bit of lack here, and kind of disappointed. So we got the base, right? I talked about with this. That's cool. We got the Tony head here with a little bit of a stash. I love the stash. It's pretty cool. Not bad head sculpt there. And we got your traditional effects that you get with Iron Man. I saw this with Riri Williams as well. And then, you know, the blast effects here. They're blue colors. And then you got closed fist hands here. And that's it. And if you're wondering, well, what else should they given us, Alvin? Well, you know what? Maybe they should have given us a stand. I liked this one. It was cool. I remember spinning it. It was awesome. Maybe a light up one would have been nice. No, I'm just joking. It would have blown the budget by a mile. But I just think maybe they should have added me something else. I don't know. Another head piece or something. Give me something else. This is a little bare bones compared to Rogers. He got a ton of stuff. Why does he get cool stuff and he doesn't? Let us know what you think in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys. And make sure, if you're watching this, subscribe, because you win cool prizes, and we'll talk about at the end of the video here what you're gonna win. So here's Cap and Iron Man with their helmet and cowl off. So you got Steve Rogers and Tony Stark here. And I don't know what, but this guy's head looks a lot bigger than this guy's. Tony's head is just big. And Rogers is kind of tiny for his body. I wish the head was a little bit bigger. Comparison time. Well, I've got the 80th Cap here along with set with this guy here. And it's a huge difference. I mean, literally, this guy is bigger, bulkier. His shield is huge. Look at the size difference between the two shields. And they're both from Marvel Legends. That's crazy. The brightness. This guy just pops. Comic book all day long. This is sort of MCU and comic book mashed into together to give you that toned down but comic look still. I gotta say, when I first got this guy, I was really happy to get him. But seeing this guy next to him, this is probably going to be my Captain America on the shelf. The Captain America to go with the rest of my comic book figures. Alright, here we have the 20th anniversary and the 80th anniversary Iron Man figure here. 20th being the Toybiz and 80th being the years that Iron Man's been around. And I like the gold and dark red look because the variant that came in this series way back at Toybiz time was that color. So I kind of wish they brought some variants. It would have been nice. We could kind of chase them around. I'm sure scalpers would love that. But yeah, I love the color here from the 20th anniversary. It's comic booky all day long. I just wish they kind of carved out right here. The reactor area is carved out. Well, that's the sticker. And I did talk about why they probably did that. But yeah, I mean, I kind of like this guy more. It just seems, I don't know. He just the paint job on him is a little bit nicer. This is sort of like a flat red and orange, and maybe that's what they were going for. This is a close one because I love the bright colors. I always love bright colors on figures, but I don't know if I had to pick one. I'm probably gonna stick with this guy on my shelf as my Iron Man. And you can send all the hate comments you want all day long. It's my shelf. I do what I want. So my final take on these guys. Well, it's not even about these figures. It's about the anniversary. To really give a nod to Toybiz for giving such an amazing line, starting an amazing line like the Marvel Legends. It's gonna go down in history, action figure history, as one of the most important lines of all time. And 20 years later, we're still strong in the Marvel Legends collection, or at least I am. There are so many people that collect Marvel Legends. It is probably the most famous toy line right now in the industry for action figures. I just think it's a great thing that they're doing, Hasbro, to give a nod to Toybiz and to, you know, bring back that nostalgia that all of us remember 20 years ago. And I hope they continue this deep. I know people are saying, well, these are just, you know, recycled figures. Well, yes and no. It's giving you the chance to collect. For new collectors, it's a great chance for them to get some of the figures they missed out on the traditional Marvel Legends line. But it also serves a purpose for people who did collect Toybiz and want to probably get that nostalgia feel and not open it. I'm probably going to buy two because I open these guys here for you guys. But I'm probably getting another set where I'm going to keep them sealed. But as I was saying, I'm hoping they go deep and get us awesome figures like Toad, for example. That would be nice to get that guy finally because we don't even have him in the regular Marvel Legends line. So great job from Hasbro team to give us a Toybiz 20th anniversary series, and I'm looking forward to more figures from this line. And I think if you love comic books, you love Hasbro, this is a no-brainer. Go pick them up, and make sure what's a no-brainer is to subscribe to our channel because, like I said, we're giving away prizes every month, and this month we're gonna give away, I won't tell you till you watch the next video. As always, take care. Bye-bye.
Da 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 da! You haven't decided yet.
Now quickly overhead here. Balls.
Balls!
Balls! Damn it!